On today's show, you're planning a trip, and of course, you're going to take your phone, your laptop, or your tablet. I have an alarming statistic that has quadrupled since 2015, involving your smart devices and how your devices can be taken right from you by agents. And what will concerts of the future look like? More lights, more lasers, more pyro. Two big-time veteran musicians are bringing new technology to the stage. And wait until you see and hear the difference. Plus, are you just tired of arguing with your spouse over whose turn it is to do the dishes, the laundry, or take out the trash? Well, there's a new app that aims to make household chores fun by collecting rewards. And finally, in my digital life hack tip, I have a list of the most useful websites you never knew existed before now, but you're going to thank me for telling you about them. All this plus more digital know-how and, of course, your phone calls here on Komando. All right, let me take you to a place that's over 7,000 miles from where I stand right now in Phoenix, Arizona. We're going to Xinjiang, China. I've spoken about the crazy mass surveillance in China before. Tech in satellites, police and airports, all equipped with AI-powered facial recognition. But the surveillance now digs a lot deeper. In China, they're putting together a huge database to track the population. And it's not just locations. A human rights group in New York got a look into what the Chinese government is collecting through an app that they use to maintain the database. And it tells quite a story. Of course, they're going to track your phone, but they're also going to monitor the GPS in your car, which is required to be installed by law. But let's say you had more calls on this phone this month than last, or that your phone was turned off for a suspicious amount of time. They know. Take a longer walk than usual, they get a geofencing alert when you've left your normal path. Not chit-chatting with your neighbors? Well, that's going to raise an eyebrow, too. What's your electricity bill this month? Go out the side door instead of the front door of your home? Well, they're watching for any changes. I love technology, but this same technology is making true surveillance states possible, and the Great Firewall is controlling what the people there actually know. All right, now travel with me back here to the United States. I'm sure that you're carrying a slew of devices when you're on a trip, say your phone, your laptop, your tablet, maybe even an e-reader just in case. Well, the Electronic Frontier Foundation and the ACLU filed a motion saying that since 2015, the number of searches at our borders of our phones and laptops has almost quadrupled. You see, if a border agent wants you to unlock your phone or your laptop, they just need to ask you. They can also take your device from you and have you wait while they go through it, or maybe they'll mail it to your home when they're done taking a total look at it. The border agents don't need a warrant to do this. The government says that the border exception to the Fourth Amendment gives it wide latitude to search inbound U.S. citizens in the name of national security. Now, obviously, we want to make sure bad people get caught, but so much of what we keep on our phones and laptops can be extremely private. So if you're traveling overseas and coming back home, be smart. For starters, make sure your devices have a charge so a border agent can see it powered up. If you have private documents or photos, be sure to secure them inside an encrypted folder, just in case the agent sees your devices. Back up everything in the cloud. Now, a friend of mine travels with a disposable Chromebook that doesn't have anything on it because everything he does is in the cloud. Well, that's a little extreme for me, but you might want to consider it too. All right, along those lines, who would have thought that we'd be talking about cameras installed in entertainment consoles on the back of plane seats? That's right, a passenger on a Singapore Airlines flight recently noticed a really tiny camera in the seat's entertainment console. The airline said they have no intention of turning the cameras on. Yeah, but how would we know that for sure? Panasonic Avionics is the manufacturer of those in-flight entertainment systems. And they also said the cameras have never been turned on. They say they were built in for future uses, like seat-to-seat video conferencing. All right, think about this for a moment. You see this beautiful woman sitting in seat 3A. Well, you're in seat 47F. So you ring her up and strike up a conversation? Okay, awkward. United, Delta, and American say they'll be covering the cameras on their planes. That's not good enough for a couple of U.S. senators, though, who sent a joint letter to the major carriers around the country. They even introduced bipartisan legislation that would prohibit airlines from having cameras or microphones embedded in any in-flight entertainment system. You can read more about it over at Komando.com if you want all the details. So United is now covering their seat back cameras with stickers. And I know what you're thinking. Like MacGyver, I will fix this challenging problem with duct tape. All right, picture this. It's the middle of the night and your smartphone rings just one time. You wake up and your heart is pounding because calls in the dead of the night usually mean bad news. So you grab your phone and you see a phone number that is definitely not local. It's coming from the African nation of Mauritania. For most folks, there's the big red flag this is going to be a scam. All right, good job. But there are still people out there who would call back just out of curiosity, maybe even concern. All right, a word of advice, don't do it. If you do, whoever answers is going to try to keep you on the line. But first, they're going to transfer you to an expensive toll number where costs mount by the minute, and it'll add up quickly. People around the country are getting these calls. It's so bad that the FCC has dubbed the whole operation One Ring. Now, usually these calls are coming from somewhere in the Caribbean where it's easier to spoof the calls as coming from a phone number here in the United States. This is a new one, and it obviously stands out because it's coming from Northwest Africa, and they're not even bothering to try to hide it. So if there's anything good to say about this scam that comes in the middle of the night, it might be annoying, but at least it's not bad news. Well, unless you do call them back. And finally, this one's for whoever takes the brunt of running your household. All right, if you're tired of doing all the chores yourself and feeling unappreciated for it, there's an app for that. No, the app won't clean the house. Instead, it makes it fun, or at least that's the whole idea. The app turns your list of chores and tasks into a game that you get to share with your other half. And by share, I mean share all the hard work that goes into running the household. The guy who created the app calls it labor of love. And he says he got tired of arguing with his wife over all the to-do lists that she always took care of. And when she got a demanding job, well, that's when he quickly realized the house doesn't clean itself. Imagine that. All right, I know there are dozens, if not hundreds of apps meant for organizing your daily routines, but this one is reward-based. You earn points based on task completion. And if you and your spouse are working on the same list, you can even compete for points and whatever you set as the reward. All right, not to stereotype all the guys out there, but the next time your wife says, hey, let's play a game, you should be careful. That probably means it's time to do the dishes. All right, the Kim Komando Radio Show is the nation's largest weekend show about everything digital. You can find us on over 400 top stations from coast to coast and around the globe in 177 different countries. And I love this, every ship at sea on American Forces Network Radio. Now, because it's talk radio, well, callers are super important. And manning the phone calls week after week is our very own Andrew Babinski, who sits in the official Kim Komando Show man cave. Hello there, Andrew. How are things going on at our call screening desk? Hey, Kim, what's the matter? Do you have laryngitis? Wait, you really have laryngitis? So I could say something like the Arizona Cardinals are the worst football team in the history of mankind because you have no voice? How are you going to screen the phone calls with, like people calling in? And how is that going to happen? Are we trying to figure it out? I still get the money, right? We'll have to talk about that, but thanks for joining us. All right, I promise you, despite Andrew not speaking, we do have a fantastic show for you today. And so you want to stay right where you are because coming up, we have all of your phone calls here on Komando.
Be a caller on the Kim Komando Show. Call 1-888-825-5254.
Welcome to New York.
Welcome to Las Vegas.
Welcome to Paris.
Welcome to your paradise.
Business or pleasure, One Flight International is connecting the world with Book a Jet, the badge. When time matters, just badge it. Simply enter your itinerary, select from over 4,000 private planes, browse interior photos, select, and pay. Whether you're traveling alone or with business associates or a romantic getaway, badge it on a luxurious private jet. What's your time worth? Badge it.
If you or a loved one were exposed to Roundup weed killer and were later diagnosed with non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, call right now. You may be entitled to financial compensation. Glyphosate, the primary ingredient in Roundup weed killer, was recently designated a probable human carcinogen by the World Health Organization. Call right now.
Call 800-866-0053. That's 800-866-0053.
Season after season, year after year, customers have found that when it comes to replacing their windows, there's only one company to call, Renewal by Andersen. Call 1-800-750-6522 now. So what makes Renewal by Andersen so good? Fibrex material, an innovative composite material exclusive to Andersen that provides strength and durability, far surpassing vinyl. In fact, it won't warp or bow over time like vinyl does. Get the window replacement solution proven to stand the test of time, plus the peace of mind that comes from a superior service experience. That's Renewal by Andersen. Call 1-800-750-6522 today and get 20% off your entire order with this exclusive TV offer. Again, that's 800-750-6522 for 20% off. Plus, get no money down, no interest, and no payments for 12 months. Renewal by Andersen, the better way to a better window. Call 1-800-750-6522 now.
All right, you can Google anything, but to get my trusted advice, there's only one place to go. Visit my website, komando.com, whenever you need a digital hand. Of course, the phone lines are open from coast to coast. 1-888-825-5254 is the way to join us. And why don't we start this hour with Marie in Nashville, Tennessee, because while, Andrew, you are sitting here, you have laryngitis.
I can't talk.
I know, and you're saving your voice for brand new or not true.
That's what I've been instructed to do.
Okay, so so you're just going to sit there.
Deal.
And not screen the calls?
Perfect.
And I still have to pay you?
Absolutely.
Great. This is exciting. Marie in Nashville, Tennessee. Help me, Marie. What's going on?
Hi, Kim. I am so glad to talk to you again. I talked to you back in 2011 before I went to Africa and asked you a question about a camera. So this time around, I am going to Israel, and I have a question about my laptop that I want to travel with.
Awesome. That's great.
Yes, thank you. So it's a study trip for school, and I have a Surface Pro 4, and I want to take it for posting for social media and also taking notes in my lectures. However, I'm a little concerned with it being so expensive. It's close to $1,000 computer, so I'm just a little concerned about it, maybe damaged or stolen or lost, and also with connecting to Wi-Fi. So my question is, do you think that I should just stick to taking the cell phone that I have, which is a Galaxy S9, and just using that, or potentially buying a new device just for the trip?
It really depends upon what your preference is. Okay. Like you mentioned, like the Surface Pro 4, right now it's on, because it's not the newest and latest and greatest. I mean, you can pick one up for $700, which is still really expensive, right? So, we don't go to Israel every single day in our lives, right? And
very true.
So I would encourage you to take the device that you feel most comfortable on. Okay. And make sure that you keep it close to your person so that, that it doesn't get stolen or, but you're a smart gal. You've traveled, you're savvy, you know what to do. Now, keep in mind, there are some great apps that you could get for your trip. I mean, of course, there are Waze and you have Skype and all those other apps. But, in Israel and Tel Aviv, there's a special app called Get. It's G-E-T-T. Mm-hmm. And basically, anytime you want a taxi, it's just right there on the phone. Everybody in Tel Aviv uses it.
Oh, okay.
So that's G-E-T-T. There's also Google Translate, which is great because it goes English to Hebrew and back and forth.
Okay.
There's another app called Morfix, M-O-R-F-I-X, that will actually help you translate and pick up some words along the way, too. Because if you're there studying, it might be nice to learn some of the language, right?
Oh, great. Yes, I'm actually in a Hebrew class I'm finishing by tomorrow, actually. So, yes.
There are so many great things that you can put on that Samsung phone of yours. You'll have to share your photos with us. Is it the same camera? I hope you got a new camera by then.
Well, I've mostly been using my phone since then, and still the camera that you shared. So, yeah.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, that's really true, though, because so many of us, I mean, even when you carry around a camera, it gets kind of distracting because you have a great camera in your phone. The big thing is that if you're carrying your phone and you're just taking the photos that way, be sure that you always have a way that you are uploading your photos up into the cloud. Thank you so much for your call. Best travels and safe travels, rather, Marie, and hope to hear from you again on your way back. Here at the Kim Komando Show, we have a lot of data that needs to be stored, and we use Wasabi Hot Cloud Storage. When most enterprises think of cloud storage, they think of companies like Amazon, Google, and Microsoft. This is a costly mistake. Yes, companies like Microsoft and Amazon, they've been doing it a really long time, but that's exactly the problem. Their technology is last generation. Wasabi is next generation cloud storage that's 80% cheaper and up to 6 times faster than the better known brands. Unlike Amazon, Google, and Microsoft, data storage is all Wasabi does. They're experts in it. It's their passion. They truly understand the needs of enterprise, so they don't have things like egress fees. Companies don't know at the start of the year how much they're going to need to access their storage. So if they're getting charged to get their data back, it makes it impossible to budget. So Wasabi just doesn't have those fees. You can learn more, even try it for free, at wasabi.com. That's wasabi.com. All right, so I ran across this story about Vince in Indian Hills, Colorado. Have you spoken to Vince?
I haven't.
Oh, Vince is doing something. Well, he volunteers at the community center in Indian Hills, Colorado. He created a roadside sign for the community center.
I did see the signs.
Yes.
They're fabulous.
So we have Vince with us because I wanted to talk to Vince about how he went viral with signs in a town. What's the population? Did I read like 1,280?
Yeah, that's about right.
Excellent. So how'd you come up with like starting to put funny things on the sign?
Oh, man. I volunteered there about 10 years ago, and one of the first things they asked me to do was to build a sign to announce weddings and birthdays and things like that at the community center, because that's what it's for. And so I built the sign, and on April Fool's Day, about 7 years ago, there's a town next to us, Morrison, Colorado, who has a very heavy police presence, and they run a lot of speed traps.
Oh.
And right when you get through Morrison to Indian Hills, there's my sign, and I put on the sign, Indian Hills annexed by Morrison, slow down. And the response I got was unbelievable from the Morrison Police Department, from the county officials.
Wow.
Everybody wanted to know what was going on in Indian Hills. And it was just a really funny day. I pranked the whole county, and I thought, well, this is great. And I just started throwing things on the board because it was fun to make people laugh and think.
Some of your things are funny. I mean, like programmers do it. Beta, get it?
Right.
Yes. What a great day to go outside and look at your phone. Okay. I mean.
Yes. I try to have a lot of fun with it. I really do. Absolutely.
Can I tell you my favorite?
Yes, please.
Dogs can't run MRI machines, but cats can.
Oh.
Absolutely. One of my favorites that I put up, cows have hooves because they lactose.
Okay. But, this is not like a high-tech LED sign here.
Oh, no. This is very low-tech. These are letters that I place in the slides every day, or every time I put a sign up.
And how big is the sign?
It's probably 3 by 4, maybe. Right. 3 by 4.5.
So have you ever thought about getting like a high-tech sign?
You know what? People have offered to even buy me one, but I think part of the novelty is the fact that I put those letters in that sign. And when it's been vandalized in the past, people have offered, hey, let's get a better high-tech sign. And I just don't want to go that way. I mean, I'm low-tech, Kim Komando. I'm very low-tech. So I read a lot about your show, and I love it, but I'm low-tech over here.
Well, I do appreciate now being famous in Indian Hills, Colorado, because Manny did show me that it does say there's a sign there now that you put out that says Kim Komando rocks.
It's on the street right now, my friend. It's on the street.
Excellent. Well, thank you, Vince. If you ever have a question about something digital, because, you're going to, now want to up the ante a little bit, don't you think? What do you think, Andrew?
Yes. Right.
If you ever need help, just give Kim a sign.
Yeah, just give me a sign. That's it. Just give me a sign.
I will.
Hey, Vince, again, thank you for having Kim Komando Rocks there in Indian Hills, Colorado, on the official sign outside the community center. Hey, coming up, another round of brand new or not true. Can Andrew stump the host? Do you think so? Stay right where you are because you don't want to miss this here on Komando.
Attention diabetics. If you or a loved one took Invokana, Jardiance, or any other SGL2 inhibitor drug and were later diagnosed with Fournier's gangrene of the genitals, call right now. You may be owed significant compensation from the manufacturer. Call Nightline Legal to speak with an experienced attorney for a free consultation. Call right now.
Call 800-664-4540. That's 800-664-4540.
The Real Real. Iconic luxury items from Louis Vuitton, Hermes, Gucci, Rolex, and hundreds more at up to 90% off retail. All authenticated by our experts. Shop luxury the sustainable way. Only at The Real Real. Shop now and get 20% off on select items with the code REAL.
Everybody wants cheap airfare, but where do you find it? You call low-cost airlines. Their prices are direct from the airlines, and they're so low you can't find these fares published anywhere. They specialize in cheap flights, discount hotel rooms, cheap car rental rates, and great package deals anywhere around the world. Wherever you want to go, they can help you get there cheaply and with a best price guarantee. If you want the lowest prices on your airline tickets or other travel services, call now. That's right, call. That's the only way to get these rates. Experts are standing by 24/7 to get you the cheapest airfare and hotel rates available. So don't wait. Call right now for the lowest travel prices anywhere and for great last-minute travel deals too.
Call right now. 800-475-0289. 800-475-0289. 800-475-0289. That's 800-475-0289.
All right, if you like our TV show, and I know you do, you're going to love, love, love our radio show and get all 3 hours on your time at your schedule. Go to getkim.com. So, brand new or not true is all on the throes of all the new technology that comes out seemingly every single day. And it's hard to tell sometimes what's real and what's fake. And so Andrew and I invented this game, brand new or not true, where we quiz each other. And so, like, for example, you have two products that are fake and one product that's real. And today it's Andrew's turn.
Yes.
Because, am I winning now? Winning?
You decided to put a wager to this game to make it a little more interesting.
Correct.
Or a little more terrifying. And if you win over the entire season, then I have to get in a small plane and fly to Sedona. I have a fear of flying, so that is going to be a problem for me.
You know, the plane that crashed in Sedona this past week is...
In this week it happened.
Everybody was okay. Now, if I lose in the unlikely event...
It's fixed.
...that I will have to give up my high-performance cars.
All of them.
Okay, so last week you lost.
Correct. So you took a 3-2 lead over the 13 weeks, but I do have 3 products this week.
Go, Andrew.
Product number 1, the Gillette Slide, made by Gillette.
Gillette Slide?
Yes.
Okay.
There are many perks to going to a barber. Oh, have you ever had your face shaved at a barber?
Not there.
One of the best parts is when they wrap your face with a piping hot towel.
And Barry has told my husband said he loves that.
And you just sit there and it opens your pores and it feels amazing. Well, Gillette is hoping to bring that sensation and magic home with the new Gillette Slide.
Now, how do you know? Because you have like this man beard going on.
I've shaved before.
Oh.
It's a shaving razor with a warming bar that heats up while you're shaving.
How is this tech?
They had to create the warming bar in the razor. It also has a wireless charging unit, so you don't have to worry about plugging it in. Jeez. The good news is also it's waterproof. So for those who like to shave in the swimming pool or in the ocean, they have got you covered. The price for the kit is $100. Comes with a charger, the razor, and 2 replacement blades. Product number 2, the Smart Art from Pollock Tech.
Wait, Smart Art from who?
Pollock Tech.
Pollock?
correct. You heard me. You're just trying to use some sort of mind game, some Jedi mind trick on me. It's not going to work. Pollock Tech.
Okay.
Did you know that 65% of Americans have an original piece of artwork hanging in their home?
No.
Also, I just made that number up because I had no other way to start this product. So what better way to improve on our love of art is to mix it with technology. Smart Art is a 32-inch digital display that is built into a wood frame and displays over 3,000 famous or original works of art. What makes Smart Art unique, it has a mood setting where it automatically picks the art for you, judging on the environmental properties such as sound, temperature, and light. The paintings can be purchased through the Smart Art store, or you can have unlimited access to all the art you want if you pay the subscription fee. And the best part, it won't cost an arm and a leg or an ear. Am I right, Van Gogh? Good one. The total cost for the Smart Art display is $1,299.
Okay.
Product number 3, the Perfect Sip Coke can, made by Coca-Cola. There is only one way to enjoy Coke. That's on the back of a speedboat going 90 miles an hour off the coast of Miami, trying to outrun the Coast Guard. But if you're talking about the beverage, ice cold, that's the way to drink it.
Okay.
The new Perfect Sip Coke can has a temperature indicator built into the can that tells you exactly when is the perfect time to drink. If the indicator is light blue, crack it open, it's Coke guzzling time. If it's red, then it's too warm to drink.
What's the perfect temperature?
For a Coke?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh.
60? Does that sound good?
All right.
50.
Okay.
Let's go with 50.
All right, 55.
The price for the Perfect Sip Coke can will be limited release, launched for the beginning of the summer at the Coca-Cola stores in Las Vegas and Orlando.
All right, so the Gillette slide.
Correct.
The Smart Art. Okay, I'm gonna nix-nay the Perfect Coke can.
Done.
Taking that out.
Eliminated.
The Gillette slide, I could see that happening, but the price, nobody ever puts anything at $100.
Right.
Okay, so I'm going to nix-nay that. I'm saying number 2 is correct.
All right. So you're going with the Smart Art.
Yes, Smart Art. Come on, Smart Art. Yes, yes.
Well, you, Kim Komando, are wrong.
No!
At CES 2019, Gillette put it up an Indiegogo account to create the Gillette Slide, which is the first ever razor with a built-in. Now, she questioned whether these are technology. This came out at CES. Okay?
It's a shaver.
It's a razor with a built-in warming bar. Now, why anyone would need that, I have no idea. It costs $100.
Okay, but there is something that will do what you said.
I'm done.
On 2.
I'm done.
You know, Samsung has that. You can put an app on your phone that gives you art.
6 consecutive weeks. If she loses, it's a travesty, and I'm cheating. Just accept it's now 3-3. You have 3, I have 3. It's very competitive.
I have a feeling this is going to go down to the wire.
So do I, actually.
You know, it's like going to be this like neck and neck. So could millennials be changing the way you watch TV? Samsung thinks so. And I'm going to tell you how one generation could flip the way you see entertainment. Next, here on Komando. I want you to think about any concerts that you've ever been to and the tech used, like big speakers, laser lights, and those mega video screens. Well, they've barely scratched the surface, and the real concerts of the future are only just beginning to take place. Let's look at Billboard Music Awards' recent Madonna's performance. They showed 5 Madonnas on stage. They didn't use holograms like shows in the past. This time, they used augmented reality to add the bonus Madonnas and other effects like rain and clouds. A new AR company called Sequin used a method called volumetric capture. Madonna's not the only veteran of the music business bringing technology. Rock band Aerosmith is celebrating their 50th anniversary with a residency in Las Vegas, and they're using new technology to fix how concerts sound. Stereo, left and right channels of audio. Well, it's great on your headphones because you're right in the middle of the speakers. In a concert, the sound can be uneven and lopsided. So the show's producers decided to take a page out of the high-end movie theaters to turn the concert into a 3D experience. Now, to do that, they brought in French speaker manufacturer L Acoustics. And to put this into perspective, there's usually around 40 massive PA speakers at your average concert. For Aerosmith, L Acoustics brought in some major software upgrades, and they installed an array of about 230 speakers. Well, I hope they got a bulk discount. Well, of course, with any new tech, there's always going to be upsides and downsides. Even with AR, I guess 5 Madonnas on stage is great if you're a huge fan of the pop star, but it's probably 5 times worse if you're not. As for Aerosmith, well, it sounds like they're living on the edge. All right, let's go ahead and face it. There's not a lot of new kinds of sports out there, just the favorites. Like you have baseball and basketball, football, hockey. You get the idea. But let me tell you about a new game. It's called Speedgate, and each team has 6 people. You're on a field where you can throw the ball, kick the ball, whatever, but you just don't run. You get the ball through a center gate and then through another gate to score. We don't need to get into all the rules. Those are just the basics. Oh, and did I mention that this game was fully designed by artificial intelligence? All right, talk about burying the lead. A company called AKQA trained a neural network to read the basic rules from about 400 sports. And get this, the AI didn't just generate the rules. It also came up with the logo and the team chant. But you better keep the play honest. If a teammate lies about scoring points, the other team gets the points instead. It's AI that plays by the rules. All right, if you look at a lot of the police cars out there, they're all filled with different types of technologies. You've got gadgets like laptops and radio systems, controls for LED lights and sirens, radar, LiDAR equipment, the list goes on. Now, a couple of companies are getting together to simplify all the techno clutter while making it safer for the police officers. Fujitsu and Kia Motors modified a Kia Stinger being used by the Highway Patrol in Australia. Instead of all the extra equipment, this new system uses the existing infotainment screen in the dash. That's where the incident information, the crime reports, license plate information, alerts, and more are all displayed. The shifter is where the new lights and siren controls are located. The radar is being moved from the dash to the heads-up display. Now, biometrics are built into the gear shifter that scans palms. That means no one can just jump in and drive off in the cop car, which, did you hear, actually happened in Tennessee recently? The cops put a woman in the car, and they were interrogating another woman when the gal in the car just drove off. Okay, they did catch her because good police officers never miss a beat. All right, there's no exact definition for millennials, and generally, you're a millennial if you reach adulthood early in the 21st century. But make no mistake, their effect on television, as those of us over the age of 40 know it, is already profound. The most obvious thing about millennials and TV is that, well, they're no friend to cable or satellite. Millennials lead the way in quitting the cable, actually. 45% of America's 25 to 35-year-olds have cut the cable and installed an outside antenna for free local TV, just like the 50s. And get this, millennials are accustomed to seeing social media content like YouTube and Instagram on their smartphones formatted vertically. So Samsung has a brand new 43-inch screen that millennials can watch horizontally or vertically. It's called Sero, which might sound cool around here, but it really just means vertical in Korean. A pretty uninspired name, like having a TV that rotates in the first place. But hey, now you can look up from your phone screen and become addicted to a much bigger phone screen instead. It costs about the same as a high-end smartphone. Anyway, it's priced at a cool $1,600 millennial bucks. All right, next, I'm going to speak to the podcast priest here on Komando.
If a dirty CPAP is making you sick, you're not alone.
I was getting sinus infections because I wasn't cleaning my CPAP properly. And that continued until I got my SoClean.
SoClean is the world's first automated CPAP cleaner and sanitizer. It kills 99.9% of all CPAP germs and bacteria that can build up in your CPAP equipment. SoClean works on all popular CPAP machines and masks. Try it risk-free for 30 days. Even shipping is free. Call 1-800-672-7930 to take advantage of this limited time offer.
I would recommend the SoClean machine to anyone else. It is that good of a machine. It has made that big a difference in my life.
When you call right now, ask how you can get $50 off the purchase price. You'll even get free shipping. Try SoClean risk-free for 30 days. Call 1-800-672-7930 to take advantage of this limited time offer or go to SoClean.com.
Everybody wants cheap airfare, but where do you find it? You call Low Cost Airlines. Their prices are direct from the airlines, and they're so low you can't find these fares published anywhere. They specialize in cheap flights, discount hotel rooms, cheap car rental rates, and great package deals anywhere around the world. Wherever you want to go, they can help you get there cheaply and with a best price guarantee. If you want the lowest prices on your airline tickets or other travel services, call now. That's right, call. That's the only way to get these rates. Experts are standing by 24/7 to get you the cheapest airfare and hotel rates available. So don't wait. Call right now for the lowest travel prices anywhere and for great last-minute travel deals too.
Call right now. 800-475-0289. 800-475-0289. 800-475-0289. That's 800-475-0289.
You know, whenever you develop a new website, you do something called beta testing, right? That's when you have a whole bunch of people come on down and they check out the website. They try to actually break it. Well, many years ago, we were beta testing a brand new and improved Komando.com. And we went out to the audience. We said, hey, listen, if you want to be an official beta tester, just come on down, fill out the form, and then you can help us try to break the new Komando.com. Now, among the beta testers, there was a teenage boy by the name of Andrew. Well, Andrew has obviously grown up, and when you've been on the air as long as I have, you actually see people transition into various stages of their lives. Well, Andrew was just a teenager when I met him, but now he's Father Andrew, and joining us on the Skype line is Father Andrew Kinsetter from Wyoming. Hi there, Father Andrew.
Hi, Kim.
And I think it's so fascinating how you actually got introduced to the show through Aunt Kay. Can you tell us the story?
Yeah, so it's an awesome story. My Aunt Kay was an avid listener of the Kim Komando Show. And she wasn't necessarily tech savvy, but she would always listen to the show, but she would record it on a cassette tape because she would drive to work. Right. So we don't even hardly know what that is anymore in today's world, but she would record it on a cassette tape and listen to it on her commute to and from work. And so when I was out visiting for our summer vacation, she knew that I was into technology and thought that I might be interested in this show called the Kim Komando Show. Of course, I had no idea who Kim was at the time and thought, oh, why not? I'll give it a listen. And so I brought those cassette tapes home, and needless to say, I've been a fan and I've been hooked ever since.
Well, thank you so much for that. And what was really cool is that you and Aunt Kay actually came down to Phoenix, and we all met. And then at that time, you were actually going to study computer technology, right?
Correct. Yeah, I was 17 at that point and was considering going into computer science when I graduated. In fact, I called the show when I was a junior in high school and asked your opinion on what laptop to get. And of course, didn't actually get a laptop because the school provided me one. Either way, so all the beta testers flew out to Phoenix, and I had to explain to my parents that I met these random people on the internet. I was going to go to Phoenix, and I wanted to meet with them. And as a 17-year-old, I had to convince my parents that this was okay to do. But it was great because Aunt Kay got to go with me. She flew down there, and we all got to meet up with you guys. And I did go to college for computer science for 3 years, but I ultimately, it just wasn't sitting well with me. It wasn't quite fulfilling. I wasn't quite happy. I enjoyed what I was doing. I was doing computer programming, but there was just this spark that was missing.
Right. I mean, so you weren't really like into it and passionate about it.
Right. So I was good at it. I was getting straight A's, but there wasn't this passion for it. And where I found the passion was when I was helping out at the cathedral in Rapid City. I was helping out with youth retreats, and I was attending the different college-age retreats, and I was just really finding a lot of joy and passion there. And of course, I've been a Catholic my entire life, so going to Mass every weekend was just something that I was doing anyway. And so I found more joy doing things with the church even though, of course, I'm passionate about technology, I wasn't quite looking at technology as my career path.
But what's really great now is you have actually combined it all together, right?
Yeah. So it's been just a phenomenal 10 years, or 15 years rather. And to see how God has kind of placed me in different positions and connected me with different people and put me on this path where I jumped into seminary and studied philosophy and theology for 6 years. I was ordained in May of 2016 for the Diocese of Cheyenne here in Wyoming. And I have built a website for my first parish. And now I'm currently at the cathedral in Cheyenne. And of course, I'm known to be good with technology around the office. But an opportunity came up just about a month ago where I was listening to one of the podcasts that I do listen to, The Secrets of Technology. It's a podcast produced by the SQPN. It's the Star Quest Production Network. It's a Catholic nonprofit organization that produces podcasts that intersect faith and pop culture. And so they had just developed this new podcast called The Secrets of Technology, where they look at technology news, technology topics from a Catholic point of view. Not that only Catholics would benefit from listening to these shows, but rather it's meant for everyone. We're just approaching it from a Catholic point of view. And so a priest friend of mine actually texted me and said, hey, they're still looking for another co-host. You should probably, maybe get on board with this. And so I kind of thought, okay, yeah, I would love to, but I just didn't think that it was something that maybe they would want me to. But I emailed the CEO, and the next morning got an email response saying, yeah, we'd love to have you. And
that's awesome. That's amazing. That's great. Yeah. And so what's the name of your podcast?
So the podcast that I joined as a co-host
you did
is
join
Secrets of Technology.
That's awesome. So what are some topics that you guys cover?
So we've covered things from tech addiction. That was actually the one before I joined. They talked about tech addiction. One that I recently joined in was it was the 30th anniversary of the Game Boy just on Easter Sunday. And so we just talked about the evolution of gaming and our relation to it and how it can fit into our lives. We've talked about the perhaps annoying, perhaps not, algorithm that shows you related videos when you're on YouTube, and whether or not those related videos are what you should be watching or shouldn't be watching.
Which, those algorithms, that, Father Andrew, they don't always quite work the way that it should be working. Well, you know what? Well, congratulations. We'll post a link to your podcast over at Komando.com. And I'm so glad to hear that you're doing so well. And you have to come to Phoenix.
I would love to get back down to Phoenix. It's just a bit of a drive from Wyoming, but I fully plan to again, and we'll have to wait till summer backs off a little bit.
Well, the big thing about summer in Phoenix is that, it's 123 degrees. So you always get really, really good hotel rates. And if you play golf, it's like they actually they'll pay you to play golf, okay, just because it's so hot. Give your family my regards, as always.
I will.
And thank you again for joining us.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me. This was a great thing to share.
And you see, folks, this is one of the things that I love about hosting the Kim Komando Show, is that we can really have a dramatic impact on people's lives. And if you have a story to tell, let me know. Head over to Komando.com. And at the bottom of every page, there's a link that says Contact Us. And the link that you want to hit there is Ask Kim. I'm the only person that reads that email, by the way. So again, Komando.com, and hit the link that says Contact Us. Is your home's router, TV, and phone hack-free? Well, in my DIY security tip, I'm going to give you the much-needed steps you need to take to ensure your privacy and security. Next, here on Komando.
Be a caller on the Kim Komando Show. Call 1-888-825-5254. Live Fridays, 2 to 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Or send your questions and comments to AskKim@Komando.com.
Welcome to New York.
Welcome to Las Vegas.
Welcome to Paris. Welcome to your paradise.
Business or pleasure, One Flight International is connecting the world with BookAJet, the badge. When time matters, just badge it. Simply enter your itinerary, select from over 4,000 private planes, browse interior photos, select, and pay. Whether you're traveling alone or with business associates or a romantic getaway, badge it on a luxurious private jet. What's your time worth? Badge it.
We are the dreamers. We come in a variety of colors
And styles.
A variety of sizes.
We come in different patterns.
and different materials.
We are the dreamers.
Achieving your dream can take work.
I just wanted to do a career.
But don't give up.
Changing my life.
Don't ever give up.
Ignore the haters.
They didn't believe that I can do it, and I just proved them that I can.
Independence University.
IU is an online college.
Education online for a better life offline.
So your campus is wherever you want it to be.
Take classes when you want to take classes.
At IU, you receive the tools you need at no extra cost.
Even a brand new laptop and tablet to use in school.
You're going to keep that laptop and tablet when you graduate.
And IU's career services work really hard to help you get a job.
You've got to have dreams.
Independence University.
Education online for a better life offline.
Call 800-214-5374. That's 800-214-5374.
The Real Real. Iconic luxury items from Louis Vuitton, Hermes, Gucci, Rolex, and hundreds more at up to 90% off retail. All authenticated by our experts. Shop luxury the sustainable way. Only at The Real Real. Shop now and get 20% off on select items with the code REAL.
Attention diabetics. If you or a loved one took Invokana, Jardiance, or any other SGL2 inhibitor drug and were later diagnosed with Fournier's gangrene of the genitals, call right now. You may be owed significant compensation from the manufacturer. Call Nightline Legal to speak with an experienced attorney for a free consultation. Call right now.
Call 800-664-4540. That's 800-664-4540.
All right, it's time now for our digital life hacks tip, and every week we put one of these together for you, and it's all about insider secrets and the tips that, you know, when you think about it, when you buy any gadget or gizmo, you start using the web, it doesn't really come with a manual, so to speak. So I thought it would be pretty interesting for us to put together a list of 25 websites that do something amazing that you'll use time and time again. Now, I can't go through all 25 here on the show, but let me tell you about a few of them, and then I'm going to tell you where you can tap into the whole list. Like, for example, if you want to use Photoshop, but you don't have the big bucks for Photoshop, well, there's a website called Pixlr that allows you to crop and resize and filter, adjust, things like that. Next on our list, let's talk about PDFs, because it's so annoying, right? You get a PDF and then all of a sudden that you have to edit it and you're like, well, now how do I do that? That's where you're going to love this website, PDF Escape. It changes all of that. Just drag and drop it right onto the site, converts the file, then you can edit it, and best of all, it's free. PrivNote is another tool I'd like to tell you about. It lets you write notes that can self-destruct after your recipient reads them. You can do scheduled self-destruct. You just write a note on the site, you pick the method, the time, and then bingo, bango, it's gone. Another favorite of mine is something called Print Friendly. This solves the problem of anytime you print anything off the web, you get, I don't know, pages and pages of ads and garbage and things like that, right? Print Friendly, it eliminates everything. All right, then let's move into computer or internet help. Have you ever wondered, like, is it you or is the website that's down? Well, that's why Down for Everyone or Just Me is really, really helpful, as is the F-Secure Router Checker. Because if you want to know if a hacker has ever gotten into your router and maybe getting copies of all your traffic and all your passwords, well, this is a website that will tell you yay or nay. And then Account Killer is also on this list, because you have all these different websites and all these different accounts. Well, now you can go in and figure out how to remove the ones you don't use anymore. 10-Minute Mail gives you a free temporary anonymous email address that expires after 10 minutes. When would you need that? Well, maybe when you want to sign into a website, they're looking for a valid email address. And there's Grammarly to keep you on the up and up. Camel to save you some bucks. And then, of course, we've got Trip it. If you're ever on vacation, you can have a whole itinerary just printed out for you and saved. You can find a list of all 25 sites, because there's a lot more than what I just told you about, by heading over to the official homepage of The Kim Komando Show. That's, of course, KOMANDO.com. And once you're there, hit that Show Picks button right on the homepage. All right, moving along. Organ transplants are serious business. This is amazing. Not only is the waiting list incredibly long, but logistics behind the process can leave many patients with delays and complications. Every second counts, and organs arriving on time can mean the difference between a patient surviving one more day versus years. And it's not easy getting the organs from point A to point B. That's where drones come in. For the first time in history, researchers in Maryland have successfully flown a kidney to a transplant patient using an aerial drone. See, the drones are also outfitted with sensors that monitor the condition of the organ. The hospital staff has direct control over the vehicle's flight and trajectory. The world's first drone-powered organ delivery was a 10-minute flight over 2.7 miles of terrain outside Baltimore. And get this, their flight was their first attempt with an actual organ and ended up saving the life of a nursing assistant who needed a new kidney as soon as possible. Isn't that amazing? All right, it's time now for our DIY security tip. Every week we put one of these together for you because, let's face it, it's just not safe on the internet, especially with all the hackers and scammers. Now, this week we're focusing on your home's router, your television, and also your phones to make sure that they're hack-free. We're focusing on the router because, let's just face it, inside your home, that's where all the magic begins, right? I mean, you have your modem, you have your router, and from there, the internet access gets spread all throughout your home. So what you want to do is to make sure that you have certain features set on the router, like encryption, passwords, and firewalls. And there still could be some vulnerabilities. And so what you want to do is some security housekeeping from time to time. You want to make sure that you can access any firmware updates on the router. It's not like the router's manufacturer calls you, says to you, hey, listen, we have a little update because of some new hacks that are going on. You have to go out and actually check to get them, with the exception of some newer, more expensive routers. You want a secure router password. You also want to pay attention to your DNS settings, because if your DNS settings are corrupted or changed by a hacker, it could set you up for a target of fake versions of websites, bombard you with ads that wouldn't be reaching you normally. We're also going to give you the steps that you need to protect your smart television from hackers. Yes, your TV is susceptible to hackers too, because after all, it's on the internet. You want to avoid bootleg streaming devices. We're going to tell you how to make sure that your Wi-Fi security is set. This is a comprehensive security guide, folks, up to and including keeping your voice assistants free from hackers and teaching Alexa the right skills and protecting all your connected accounts, and also how to defend your smartphone from hackers. This alone could be a complete book about DIY security, but we're giving it to you, a viewer of The Kim Komando Show, a listener of The Kim Komando Radio Show, absolutely free. All you need to do is head over to komando.com. That's KOMANDO.com. And once you're there, hit that Show Picks button right on the homepage.
Stand by, control. Take.
All right, it's graduation season and coming up. I'm going to tell you why the graduating class of 2019 is very different than previous generations. Here, Komando.
Welcome to New York.
Welcome to Las Vegas.
Welcome to Paris. Welcome to your paradise.
Business or pleasure, One Flight International is connecting the world with BookAJet, the badge. When time matters, just badge it. Simply enter your itinerary, select from over 4,000 private planes, browse interior photos, select, and pay. Whether you're traveling alone or with business associates, or a romantic getaway, badge it on a luxurious private jet. What's your time worth? Badge it.
If a dirty CPAP is making you sick, you're not alone.
I was getting sinus infections because I wasn't cleaning my CPAP properly. And that continued until I got my So Clean.
So Clean is the world's first automated CPAP cleaner and sanitizer. It kills 99.9% of all CPAP germs and bacteria that can build up in your CPAP equipment. So Clean works on all popular CPAP machines and masks. Try it risk-free for 30 days. Even shipping is free. Call 1-800-672-7930 to take advantage of this limited time offer.
I would recommend the So Clean machine to anyone else. It is that good of a machine. It has made that big a difference in my life.
When you call right now, ask how you can get $50 off the purchase price. You'll even get free shipping. Try SoClean risk-free for 30 days. Call 1-800-672-7930 to take advantage of this limited-time offer or go to SoClean.com.
Season after season, year after year, customers have found that when it comes to replacing their windows, there's only one company to call, Renewal by Andersen. Call 1-800-750-6522 now. So what makes Renewal by Andersen so good? Fibrex material, an innovative composite material exclusive to Andersen that provides strength and durability, far surpassing vinyl. In fact, it won't warp or bow over time like vinyl does. Get the window replacement solution proven to stand the test of time, plus the peace of mind that comes from a superior service experience. That's Renewal by Andersen. Call 1-800-750-6522 today and get 20% off your entire order with this exclusive TV offer. Again, that's 800-750-6522 for 20% off. Plus, get no money down, no interest, and no payments for 12 months. Renewal by Andersen, the better way to a better window. Call 1-800-750-6522 now.
Members of Generation Z, who literally grew up posting daily on Twitter, Snapchat, and Instagram, are now graduating college and entering the workforce. All right, hopefully, they're looking back at their social media teenage self with the delete option handy. Because you see, no matter your age, when you're looking for a job, you should always run a Google search on your name because 70% of potential employers will do the same thing. But this graduation season is different. It marks the very first generation who documented their lives on social media. Twitter started in 2006, Snapchat in 2011. So a massive social media hit is underway as job seekers clean up who they like, who they follow, their posts and replies. Now, many Gen Zers have two social media personas. One is called a Rinsta or real account. It's for, say, drinking, partying, and risque photos shared only with close friends. Hopefully, when the HR department searches online, they only find the other profile. You know what that is? That's the Finsta or fake account. That's their PR squeaky clean self. All righty, be sure to keep the digital know-how going. Find your local radio station that broadcasts my show, along with more DIY tips, videos, free newsletters delivered from me to your email address, and of course, ebooks on our website. That's Komando.com, and thanks for watching.